we're gonna start with a spectating rank 1 Deadpool. We tried to get some Spark Chief VODs, couldn't find them, so we had to go to number 2 and... Wait a minute. Well, who was that? I thought in the spirit of Deadpool and Deadpool breaking the rules of everything, this would actually be a good time to do. Tankpool I've been playing a bunch of the last couple days. It's been an absolute blast to play. So I followed the same rules. I had Retro go find the VODs for me, and he went through and picked 2 random games from a bunch of the games I've played, specifically yesterday, because yesterday was when I hit flow state. So yes, this is gonna be quote unquote an ego VOD. You can even see just like my last few games of the night last night before I hopped off. I was just full flow state. What did he pick? Oh, this one, the 56 and 10 game. Oh, I kind of went a little crazy this game. This wasn't even one of the best ones though. So I'm gonna tell you before we even leave spawn, my first upgrade is always the Deagles. Extra damage is the way to go. Right out of spawn, first fight, pops E. The ideology behind this, I'm dead. By the way, I'm just gonna let you know, I fed my brains out this first fight. Tankpool does similar damage in a lot of ways to DPS pool. The thing is though, you need the upgrade for the pistols. Well, if you don't have the pistol upgrade, you're basically doing f all. What I end up doing is very early on, first few fights, I just literally sit there and I spam tanks, press my E off cooldown, and I try to headshot their tanks as fast as possible. And actually many times I will build ult before I build my first upgrade. Well, I'll explain when we get to that. I'm dead here, by the way. I'm CC Simulator Doom and Gloom. Yeah. Tankpool plays almost like an off tank where he's very squishy. But you're gonna notice in a lot of these fights, my team just rolls here. A lot of these fights, I'm gonna be popping my E very early. Small thing to note, this is something you're gonna see throughout the entire rest of this VOD. I enjoy the sword form. I think it's inferior to the gun form. So what I end up using these swords for actually is a second movement ability many times, but you can actually use it as an escape tool or a chase tool. So in this case, you see me switch to form or to swords and immediately switch back to guns. And I use that specifically just to chase down. So the tanks jump through here and you're gonna see I'm just gonna pick one of the tanks. I picked the Emma on this one and I'm just trying to delete him. And even though Emma is in diamond form, she does so much damage, or I do so much damage to her. Also, there's a Loki behind me somewhere, and I don't know where she is. She disappeared. I was trying to find this lady Loki. So you might think real quick, why the f did he ult there? Deadpool loses all of his ults if you die. You go back to 0. So you have to fight your instincts on Deadpool, unfortunately. Always ult before you die. Literally doesn't matter. Is it gonna show my upgrades? Okay, so it actually doesn't show my upgrades. So my upgrade sequence is always the Deagles, which I think you'll see me do first here. Now I've got the gold guns. And then the next upgrade I always go for is the E upgrade, which is the upgrade that gives you like the increased fire rate, but it also gives you damage resistance, which is really, really important. So, oh, you're actually seeing it right here. Fun fact, you can B-hop on all the Deadpools. And you'll actually see here that I can actually B-hop my way through on Deadpool. So I'm probably going for the upgrade here. I believe I go for the E upgrade. I actually can't tell from the spectator client what upgrade I went for, but I know that that's the correct sequence. And then I just find their thing here, yeah, and just pump him. You're actually gonna notice, like, it's weird. I'm actually pumping tanks a lot of times early on until I catch a DPS on the flank or something, and then I'll go for that. Well, this Emma just explodes, by the way. I'm telling you, like, if you guys start hitting your shots with the E powered up, you do so much goddamn damage. Also, are we gonna live this? I think I lived this, if I remember correctly. Their thing explodes. I'm almost always bubble forward. Very rarely do you bubble for defense or bubble backwards. When you're bubble backwards very often, like, it just explodes, especially without the upgrade. It doesn't have much, whatever it's called, range, I guess, if that makes sense. So, also, I should have took a photo right there. That's something I got better with as time went on, but I would forget because I was trying to take more space. Especially early on, you want to be taking as many photos as possible. Oh, another fun fact. The photo does C9 you. If you are on the cart and you're the last one there and you take a photo of someone, you will C9. It does not count as touching the point. Know that, okay? Know that. It's actually not like Hulk Exile, it's actually more like Hulk detransforming. So you notice that a lot of times I'm gonna use the gun ult more often than anything. I like the gun ult much more. It just feels more impactful, and also it's easier for me, because a lot of times I've noticed that I will overextend with the sword form, and so it builds a good habit to not overextend. One. Oh, I think we're dead. Are we dead here? So actually, that was a good example of I was trying to get out. I ended up hitting somebody on the way out, so I actually got a second dash off of that. So if you're trying to escape with the swords, like kind of how I've been using it as an escape tool, there's actually a world where hitting someone first might be a good idea, because you get, if they're along the way with you, right? Like if they're behind you, and you're where you're trying to go, you get a second one after. Especially if you don't have the upgrade, because I think for Tankpool, the upgrades are very, very important to go Deagle first, then E, absolutely number 1, number 2. After that, it's probably Bubble. Bubble's the 3rd upgrade. 4th upgrade is probably Gun Ult. Gun Ult is probably the best ult, is the one I go for most times. You can, if you really want to, go for the second dash. Second dash actually works really well too. So you might have asked right there, why didn't you take a photo there? Well, I'll be real with you, I forgot. The other thing though is sometimes I found that actually taking the photo mid-fight is a little trolly. Because you're rolling and you got damage going and you stop for like a solid 2 or 3 seconds. So like you'll lose enemies if they're backing away. So taking a photo is like the right play about 80% of the time, but there is about a 20% where it's not. Do you see how much damage we pump out, by the way? You can see the upgrades have a skill or an upgrade because the up arrow. Oh, you're right. I do see the up arrow. You're right. You're right. Yeah, and this one has the up arrow too. Okay, so I've upgraded this and I've upgraded this. Good catch on that. I actually never noticed that. Smile. Let's go straight for the Moon Knight, because the Moon Knight I think is honestly, like, okay, I don't know if I explained this already. When I'm ulting the single target ult, I'm always trying to get either a, I'm always trying to get a DPS or support if I can. Honestly, that was a little troll. I probably shouldn't have even taken the photo there. I probably should have just kept going to kill. See, that was actually a good example of where if staying to shoot or to take a photo was probably the wrong call. As I've played more and learned more, that like my team's rolling, the game's gonna be over, the fight's gonna be over, you might as well just keep cleaning up. I'm looking for the spam right here. I'm looking for a good opportunity to do it. Like the second I start seeing them walking, here we go. Immediately start trying to spam on their Emma. It's not even like, if I get headshots, that's what I want, but like hitting body shots, all the same. Break shield, their cloak explodes. I don't know what the f they were doing. I was not gonna lie, when I saw that happening in real time, I was a little confused. And then anytime I see it, this is actually a good example right here. I actually just managed to build the ult faster than I got my first upgrade on the first fight. I've actually found that doing this strat on overtime is so strong because you build your ult faster than everyone else in the lobby, and then you basically hard walk on someone, like a DPS off-angling or something, and you challenge them to the 1v1, you bubble them off so they can't do damage, and you just start hitting them. Because you have your upgrades already in overtime especially. This isn't overtime, this is defense, so I still gotta build my upgrades. But escape using the swords. That's once I figured out I can use the swords for an escape tool more than like an engage tool. I end up playing much more aggressive. I think yep. Another good example of I jumped in with the swords because I knew I could get the reset. The second it was looking a little spooky, just dash out every time. I always look for it as an escape tool, or sorry, 90% of the time I use it as an escape tool. 10% of the time it's an engage tool. Even less than that, maybe. And we just do so much damage. Should have took a photo there. I wanted to turn the corner a little more, I think. And then when she... Actually, I didn't even get... No, I didn't wait for her to turn the corner. I found that corner up here, which if you play... Whoops, sorry. A lot of spam heroes, like Moon Knight, or even, hell, even Adam or something like that. A lot of times there's like these, like... What are they called in real life? They're called like pathways, like desired paths or something like that, where people walk a certain path even if there's not a path there. They'll, like, make one. There's like desired paths in Rivals and people will like walk like a certain angle consistently, and so it's if you just spam that angle, you'll get more hits. Yeah, the photos give you your upgrades. So I think I got onto the Moon Knights, I believe is who I was looking for. Dash away from the Thor ults. I think we're kind of cooked here though. Yeah. So that was another example. I should have thrown the bubble on myself. Future me can tell you that I am using my bubble a little incorrectly sometimes in these fights. I should have used it like just like thrown it on the ground on myself and basically like if you're playing Winston in Overwatch, bubble danced. So that one's a little better. It helps me cross, dash back out to escape. But then when you get the upgraded bubble, it's a little different. But I don't have the upgraded bubble yet, and that's a little bit of low priority. Choose the Atom. He dies. The funny thing, you know what the funny thing is I've noticed with the ult? Two things. One, either people don't notice that it's on them, and they like stop shooting and like, or sorry, they start shooting and like going in different directions. They start taking damage, not realizing it, or they get terrified and they run for the hills. I think that'll change as the game goes on. People get more comfortable playing against the ult. But so far, that's where I'm at. So jump out because I was a little isolated. Grab an upgrade. Okay, you might say, what the f was that? Why are you grabbing an upgrade then? What I found with Tankpool specifically is if both supports on both teams are in the middle of their ults and everyone's standing in ult, you're not killing anything. So that is actually the safest time in the middle of a fight to grab an upgrade. Watch this shit. The screen shake on this motherfucker is insane sometimes. Back in. Yeah, she took too much damage there. Yeah, I stayed too long. Emma is like your worst nightmare on Deadpool. You cannot play aggressive near an Emma at all. You just get annihilated. So I actually made a big mistake there. Emma got a huge buff to her left click. It's so fast now. So like the second I got crystalled, I should have just immediately jumped out. It is actually unironically genuinely worth to jump away. In these fights. Also, by the way, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything. Holy f, I'm 39-4 at this point in the game. And for those who don't think Deadpool does a lot of damage, like even Tankpool, guys, if you are hitting your shots and spamming your E uptime with the deagles, you do a crazy amount of damage. You're doing almost Thor levels of damage in these games, with arguably slightly better utility than Thor. I'm gonna play more Deadpool today. I might even be doing this early. I might even learn more about Deadpool today than I did yesterday. So you see there's like the gears had started to turn a little bit as these games went on. I think there's a strange ult later on or something. I don't know if it's this game or a different one, where I ult myself and one of two things happens. The strange lands in the bubble with me and hits me and everyone else lives, or I live and everyone else dies. Like it's like the two best scenarios. Throwing it for other people has not worked out. So like even though both my supports were standing there with me, and like in a perfect world, I had my E there and I used it way too late. You can actually see I looked down to try to bubble and I didn't have my cooldown timing like memorized yet. So that's like another mistake of like not having enough experience on the character yet because it's still pretty new. Although I will say when Deadpool came out, he looked super complicated and really hard. I actually don't think he's that difficult. Like he's definitely hard to like understand everything that's happening at the same time, but once you get a basic understanding, it's a lot more mechanical than like combos or something like that. I'd argue Rogue is probably more complicated. Actually, maybe that's not true. Rogue's not that complicated. Rogue just has a lot of things going on. So I hit the cloak and dagger trying to dash out. This is a good example of trying to escape. I actually ended up getting a reset, and then I think I was pulled for a half a second there. I don't know what happened. I don't know why that looks so weird. But I got a second dash and I was just gone. So, ended up surviving from that. So I have ult here. I don't know if it's really going to use it here. I don't think there's a reason to. Sometimes so that was a good example of like, I had my third dash still. I had a reset, so I just use it for a little bit of quick mobility, get back up into the fight. But sometimes actually I've noticed that when I'm like using it for mobility, I bump into someone and then getting a free dash is kind of awesome. So I go for this Ultron and then I hear the Thor is hunting me and I'm like, nah, I'm good actually. I don't know when I got the upgrade for the sword. So I'm gonna explain it one more time just in case you maybe missed it. Here is my book, okay? Deagles is first, then the E, then the bubble, then the single ult target, then the double swords, then damage sword upgrade, and then the sword ult. But the sword gives bonus health and shield, so does the gun one. So like, when you use the gun one, also we're gonna die here because it's res. Horrible timing. So I actually called our team, I was like, get the fuck out, we're gonna die. So I just peace out of here. So everyone has 4 more seconds though, but you're gonna feed your brains out and you're not gonna do that much. What I've noticed, especially with triple support being strong and a lot of supports being strong, is you have to all in and you're sitting on their head. And there's 2 things that I've noticed with like how the players play. When you're on their head, bopping them with the sword, everyone shoots you. Everyone will target you and your ass dies. And you have to commit. Like, you have to positionally walk into them. So there are times where it is useful, and times I found it useful are actually like if I get Groot ulted as a team, you get like the AoE damage resistance, which is kind of nice. But other than that, though, you will tend to overextend. People will target you more. And what I've noticed is when I choose the 1v1 target, if it's say like a Moon Knight or someone who's flanking, a lot of times I will isolate that guy. I will choose them and then I will bubble them, and they have to break the bubble and they have to take the fight with me. As I'm shooting them, they're not getting healed, and also they're taking the residual damage for not hitting shots because they're hitting the bubble. And I found that I don't lose any DPS uptime as well. That was one I really wish I got that kill. And don't get me wrong, I think the sword one has a lot of use. But in my own experience so far, it's been better to not worry about the sword one, because I end up not getting kills with it. It's good for stall. It is actually exceptionally good for stall. So actually, this might be an area where I do sword ult, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so because we're in last fight scenario here, everyone's trying to survive. I popped it to see what happens, but it's just GR anyway, so the fight's over. Oh no, overtime. So overtime, my theory is that you keep the abilities that you had when you were on attack/defense. So if I was on defense and I got all my upgrades, when I go to overtime defense, I have all my upgrades. If I was on overtime attack and I had everything but say 2 upgrades, when I go to overtime attack, I have everything but 2 upgrades.
Got it.
So early on, obviously you saw the spam. I'm just spamming out the E as fast as I can, trying to get my ult up early, because I already have the upgrades. I already have my ult. By the way, I just want to point out, I'm 19 seconds into the round, and they have to walk out of spawn. 19 seconds. If we were aggressive as a team, there's a situation here where I just walk at somebody and I pop ult on them. So on attack ult, also by the way, I die here. I just get slammed. I did not expect their Emma to just walk at me and kill me. Like I said, I told you earlier in this VOD, Emma is your worst nightmare. I was still learning at this point that how terrifying Emma can be to you. So I had ult and I didn't use it. That's a big mistake for me right there. I'm thinking to myself, I'm waiting for the ult on their backline. I should have used it right then and there, but I didn't, because I thought, no way their Emma just walks up 1v6 and just rolls us. So I swapped Strange here, by the way, because, you know, I'm trying to be a good teammate. There's literally nothing that happens here, by the way. They just C9 instantly. I walk up, look like I'm going to go for ult, and they just walk off. So there's nothing there. All right, on to attack.
2, 1. You have to stop them.
B hop out of spawn, instantly pop E, looking for that spam damage. Listen, man, Mr. Bubblegum guy, he just fell off the map on Thor. I was doing my best to not crash the f out, but I think he actually popped off after this. I think I said, I was like, bro, what's going on here? So I ult the Ultron, forced them back out. They all back away, even though they had a huge advantage on us there. That's the other thing. I think people don't know when they're ulted, so like when they hear the Deadpool ult go off, they freak out. I think we lose one here, if I remember correctly, so we backed away. Yeah, it was coming up. Yeah, I think I saw him like 1 HP. So we're down again, but don't give up. You gotta keep fighting, because I know I still have my dashes. I have both of them, so I'm not scared. Just hit the Groot once and then back out. Like I said, playing Deadpool, you gotta be small little text right here. If they have a Jeff on the enemy team, always swap to your swords right away, because you can dash out of it. It is further enough to dash out of it. So I actually ended up almost dashing into it. Thank God I survived. So I see the Groot by himself. I think Groot is my favorite tank to see right now on Deadpool. Deadpool does so much damage to Groots, it's actually disgusting. Like, if I see a Groot in front of me, I pop my E and I just headshot him on cooldown until he falls over. Probably my favorite thing to see right now. And he does good damage for breaking walls, too, yeah. By the way, yo, not to be that guy right there, but like, the bubble plus the Invis ult to instantly save us from the Moon Knight ult gave us just enough time to survive. Not to be that guy, that was fire. Make sure nobody got one shot as they were getting pulled into the ult. So our Thor's really pushed up here. I saw that they were pushed up too, so I chased. I'm looking for the cloak and dagger. Instantly ult her, make sure she has to hit her shots. If she doesn't, she's taking damage because we're all pushing her too. We're all pressuring her. She has to run, she has to back out, but they have to touch because the fight's right here. So I play this off angle a little bit because like I said about Deadpool, you play him almost like an off tank. So I'm not really looking to frontline. So this Thor has the option of chasing me if he wants, but they have to touch. So he ends up going back to my team. I end up absolutely punching him. Self-bubbled myself on the Thor ult. I end up getting the kill on the Moon Knight too. Kill the Moon Knight. Pop the bubble. As he lands, boom, take no damage. Then it's the Ultron. Bang, he ends up dying to the combo of me and the Iron Fist. Help kill the Jeff. Swap to the swords, hit him with a triple dash. And that's that. Second game. I literally have 13 less damage than their Hela, who I think was on DPS the entire game. Playing Tankpool. You pump damage on this guy. It is actually insanity. So just like the previous game, you're gonna see I'm spamming early. I'm spamming that E early on. So our comp kind of blows in the beginning, so you'll notice I'm gonna play really passive. It's because we're on solo support. So if you're wondering why I'm like basically just hanging around doing nothing, it's because I'm trying to not take much damage because we're all so like we don't have much healing, and I'm basically just waiting for my E rotations to just blow somebody up. So I caught the Daredevil. Oh, Tankpool is actually a pretty decent peeler. Granted, you're not nearly as good as like Thing, for example, but you have the range and you do decent damage even at range. So like if they have like a BP or something that's sneaking up or Spidey that's coming in, you hit a couple shots on him, you force him out because then your support hits 1 or 2 shots, right? They're really low HP. So he's actually provides some decent support. So Daredevil, I actually end up trying to check a lot of times. I don't know about this game in particular. I don't know if they stayed Daredevil the entire time. So here's a good example of I checked the Daredevil, backed out, but again, we only have solo support right now, so we gotta be real careful. I see him coming in on my backline, so I instantly just ult him, force him out. So he's taking damage, and now he has to commit. He has to commit to hitting things, or else he's gonna start taking more damage from the ult. So he all-ins my backline right here. Like, instead of backing up to his own team, I assume he's gonna back up to his own team. I notice he's on our backline. 2 shots into him, boom, he's dead. So even with 1 support, we survived a Daredevil. Tell that to someone who played in season 5 and they'd be like, huh? Pop my E, just start pumping the Groot. Bubble behind him, very important. If you are safe and your team is safe and you get one of their tanks low, you bubble behind them. You arc the bubble over their head because the shield doesn't have much health, but it will be enough to isolate them from their supports, and he dies. Between the Hulk jumping in, I think if the Hulk is jumping in there, if I saw right, or it's the Angela. It might be the Angela. It might have been Hulk, I don't know. Yeah, Hulk goes in. Between the Hulk jumping in a little bit and the bubble behind him, he just falls over. So they have their own Deadpool ult, but I'm not really concerned. I'm trying to help Cap first. Because we really got to Cap. Bubble it off again, so anyone that walks in just immediately can't get healed. That Luna was 1 HP. Tankpool's 1. I ended up trying to sword him because I thought I could help burst him a little bit faster, but it wasn't worth. I think, is that real Luna? Yeah, real Luna's 1. Are we losing this? I think we might be losing this. I don't remember. No, we capped it. Super Snake, 43 months. Appreciated. If they had their other Luna, we might have been in some trouble, but... And it's a nice kidnap from our Angela, but I'm already... we're very early on here with 1 support. I'm already 6-0. I got 2 finals. We're pumping out damage. I'm the most damage on our team. Actually, no, sorry. My Phoenix has more. I apologize. Super Snake, 43 months. Picture time. Yippee! Yeah, I thought there was someone behind us there, but I think there actually is. Yeah, there was actually someone back there. I heard something, but I didn't see it, so I was like, oh, I'm crazy, man. Put on the Deadpool, forces Luna ult, gives me a little extra shield too. Like, I really do not, like, the ult just doesn't feel very scary, so I actually don't really save it that much. I think the E Deagle combo is 10 times better. Just burst down the Daredevil, take a photo with him. This is a game that happened later on in the day. I take way more photos in this game than I did in the previous ones. And this is all like the same day, by the way. Like, this, I don't even think this was flow state yet. Support pool is by far the best. By far, because he gets ult instantly. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually patched that, because it's actually a little broken. Alright, just poking a little early. A lot of these fights, I noticed when I was streaming, like a lot of people on like TikTok and like stuff were like, dude, do your upgrades, do your upgrades. And it's like, yeah, I know you gotta do my upgrades, but doing your upgrades mid-fight, unless there's multiple support ults going off, just isn't really worth it. Like, it's better to just like keep fighting. Like, look how many things are happening right now. Jesus Christ. So I should have ulted right there, by the way, before I died. It's so hard to fight the instinct of like, oh, we're gonna lose this fight, save my ult for next fight. You have to just use it anyways. That, I think, takes some time to really, really develop. Like, even at this point, I'm still struggling with that. What does it all even do? Depends on which ult you're using. The single target one basically forces a 1v1 where they have to hit shots. The sword one is basically like increased damage or increased health, damage resist, so those around him, and if you hit like 5 combos, then you get an extended ult. So it's like 12 seconds, and then you can get an extra 8 seconds. So you could make a 20-second ult. So you see in a lot of these fights, like I ain't jumping in there. I ain't getting mixed up in that. Shoot the wall to get him blocked off from his team. Yeah, a lot of times, like, you'll see like this. If I can catch a DPS on the flank, kind of like how you play Thor. Like, if you catch some DPS, some poor DPS player in a 1v1, you win that battle a lot of times. I don't even know who I ulted there. Was it the Moon Knight? I think I just popped it to pop it. Yeah. Sometimes I will ult even if someone's low HP. I don't give a f. I want the 800 HP because I'm here to f shit up. By the way, this guy lasts about 9 hours if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, he was alive. Get his ass out of here first. Yep, he's still alive. Nice shot, idiot. Absolute idiot. Look at this chud's aim. So, again, this hell is on the flank. I saw she used bird. I hard commit for this fight. Boom. I take those every day of the week. No fear. You have 500 HP and increased, like, you have increased damage resist and increased fire rate at will on a tank character. You just run them down. I'm looking for this damn Moon Knight Monk. I couldn't find it. Yeah, the only thing is, like, during some of these support ults, like, you're just kind of useless. But, oh, did I bubble for this? I had bubble. I could have bubbled it. Whoopsies. I don't know why I committed this with swords. I think this was a bit of a mistake. I'm probably gonna die for this. Yeah. That was stupid of me. Oh yeah, that was a huge pick for Marangela. So I think I have the multiple... I don't know if I have the multiple dashes upgrade yet here. So I choose the Deadpool because I noticed the Deadpool was playing kind of far up. Bonk. You'll notice that I play a lot more aggressive when I get the double dashes upgrade as well. Almost sometimes maybe too aggressive. So a bit of a waste on my E there. I thought they were going to aggress over the top, but then they just backed away. Someone on my backline... Oh no, that was their backline died. Oh! Dude, listen, hey, I ain't trying to be that guy, but that was a dirty-ass combo. Hit him with the 3 sword dashes. And then this is where, like, I've really tried to learn to not overcommit on the swords. So, like, they're backing away. And that's why I don't like the sword ult as much, right? Because teams will back away, they back into support ults, whatever. And, like, you chase and you commit and you die for it. Wait, I thought I just killed the Hela. Wait, didn't I just kill her Hela? Oh, it's the Loki Hela. Oh, they copied the Hela. Oh. Got that guy too. Got that guy too. And dude, when these fights, when they break down and they're not as much of like front to back and like it's brawly, just like on Thor, you go and kill shit. So we were actually playing triple tank this game, and actually Deadpool in triple tank I think works pretty good because he's kind of like a hybrid DPS tank, and he does so much damage that like you're not lacking for damage when you don't have it. Or sorry, when you're running triple. I've already got ult ready to go. Another good example of I have ult before my first upgrade. I think I used it on their Moon Knight. Instantly kill him. Take a little photo with them. Surprise. They say cheese. And I really cannot overstate how powerful the deagles are, upgraded with your E. Like, that is the key to your damage. Like, that is genuinely the key to getting going in the game. And I know people like the swords, like I do too. I love the melee form. I just wish it was better. It's almost like Blade in some ways. Where, like, it has its uses, but you're probably just better using something else. Did I mess up my dash there? I don't know if I did. I don't know why did we double ult? I think we double ulted there. God, I missed so many of those shots. I know I was blinded for a sec, but good lord, I could have readjusted that. Another good example, I should have just ulted. I think I was thinking about ulting the Punisher, if I remember correctly. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I'm gonna wait a second, and then I just never ulted. But then again, these are things that it takes so much time to ingrain into your brain of like, use ult before you die, because like, the game has taught me for years to use ults optimally, use and win fights. Like, don't just use them right before you die just to press a button, you know? But Deadpool breaks that rule. So this Punisher's, I noticed, started frontlining a lot more and just shotgunning, and I just basically said I'm not going to allow that anymore. So you'll notice at some point I just start targeting the Punisher a little bit more. I don't know when it is. Is it here? Might be a little later. So I popped the ult on the Moon Knight specifically. Actually, one thing I didn't do here, something I learned later on, is I actually go after Magnetos in the air now. Because you have the 3 dashes, if you hit him, you actually can really f with him, especially if he's low HP, and you could potentially kill him. But actually, a lot of times, mags will get angry at you, and they'll bop you instead, because you're trying to kill them in the air, and you actually save your team a lot of times. Weird psychological trick, you actually rage bait him. The other thing about the swords is like fights like that where it's just like so much shit's going on you can't really see, is actually a good time to use the swords as well. And then, dude, you just get so many good finishes. And I could have took photos with any of those guys, but I wanted to finish the fight first. And then I got this one at least, right? Did I take this one? Yeah, I got this one. So at this point, I've got 16 finals. I'm way ahead of almost everybody on my team other than our Hulk, which, by the way, that guy was actually really good. Were they solo tank mag here? Yeah, they were. Yeah, especially on solo tank right now, like this. Like, solo tank versus triple tank like we have. I just basically bully this mag, and I just make him want to quit. These fights are just... all is happening. Moon Knight's on the flank. Catch him. That's... I just always am trying to do that. I'm always trying to catch some DPS that's flanking on the out of position, on the angle, whatever it might be. Always catch that guy and then just kill him. Oh, I'm gonna give you a tip right now that I should have given you at the very beginning. I'm such an asshole. I apologize. You need to rebind your picture key different from upgrades, because if you don't, you're gonna f up constantly. Where you'll go to take a photo and it will open your book. That happened to me so many times. You have to do it. I swapped my picture key to V, and that way when you take a picture, it'll always be different than upgrading. So you won't try to go take a photo and then it pulls out your book and you die. Because there are times where you want to take a photo when the fight's happening, and like because you become invulnerable and you can still be healed, but you're gonna lose your mind. Bro, Flats, I have a guy in my lobby eating your stream because when I mag ulted, he got in the air and he killed me with the swords. Right now. That'd be so funny. There's a guy literally playing Deadpool in your game right now, and he was watching this on the side monitor and heard that. Was like, huh, I'm gonna try that. Like, also, huge strange ult. Also, Venom is another one of those targets you pump. You absolutely pump that guy. So I think I go on the off angle here, if I'm thinking right. That's what I would at least do in this situation. I go on the off angle and I pick the Punisher or one of their supports. One of the two. So I think I'm getting the Luna instead. Don't get the kill on the Luna though. Get the Punisher. That's why I should have probably put the ults on. I don't think it would have mattered either way though. And then we win. Guys, don't let anyone tell you you can't do damage on Tankpool. That guy pumps. You just gotta do it correctly, and you gotta be methodical. But there you go. Spectating the rank 1 Deadpool.